Let's talk about a game I'm sure every man and his dog have played at some point during their gaming time, as this has had countless remasters and countless ports of this title. Let's talk about Skyrim. Now, full disclosure here, I've only recently played this game for the first time. Put your pitchforks and torches away. I'm going to explain why it's taken me this long to play this title that has been hailed as like the greatest game and the greatest RPG ever put onto a game disc. But before I get into that, if there's anything that I mention in my talk today about Skyrim and my opinion of the game, and you feel maybe I did something wrong, or you feel like I could have done something a little bit differently there, please do feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to see where I've potentially gone wrong, or where I could have done things a little bit differently to get a different experience. But obviously, please be civil in the comments, and of course, no spoilers, please, as I'm sure there are others who have maybe not played this game before like I did all those weeks ago. Back in the day when I worked at a game store, I heard so much about the game Oblivion. People saying it's a great RPG, it's very much worth a play. And in the game store that I was working at, if we had more than one copy of a pre-owned game, we could actually take one of the copies home and borrow it for a few days, just so we could get a chance to play it. So if anyone ever came in and asked about a certain game, at least one of us would have had a personal experience of that game, and we could give a full sort of recommendation or avoid that game at all costs kind of spiel to people. So one day I thought, you know what? I'm going to take Oblivion home, because I keep getting told it's a great game, it's really fun, and it's such a memorable experience. I thought, I got to give it a go. At the end of the day, it's not cost me anything to try it, so I've got to give it a try. And you never know, a new Elder Scrolls fan might come out of this. So I took it home, and to be honest with you, at the time, which was around sort of, I think it was around 2008, 2009 kind of time, I was very much a gamer who was very much, if a game didn't hook me within the first sort of 15 minutes, I was out. Which I feel now, after playing Skyrim, was the worst thing you could do when playing this type of game. As at the beginning of Skyrim, and obviously at the beginning of Oblivion, you're very much in sort of like a tutorial level. You kind of wander around a very small area just so you can get your bearings on how the controls work and everything like that. And because it didn't grip me and it wasn't like a big epic set piece straight away, I just dropped the game and thought, you know what, that's not for me. And then Skyrim comes along and everybody's playing it. People who don't normally play RPGs are playing it. All media outlets are saying it's a fantastic game. It's a revelation. This is the game that everyone should be playing. If you don't play this game, you're missing out on something very special. But because of my opinion of Oblivion, I kind of turned all that off and went, well, I didn't enjoy Oblivion, so I'm not going to touch that with a 15-foot barge pole. Over the years, though, I've always become very curious about it, as it's one of those, I feel I should play this. I should play Skyrim, because then I can give a proper opinion, because I'm not really getting a proper opinion of the game. I'm just going off my opinion of a previous game, whereas Skyrim could be a lot better. They could have improved things, etc, etc. Then I started collecting for the 360 again recently, and I thought, you know what? Skyrim is £1.50 currently at the moment on the Xbox 360 in my local game shop, and I can pick up a copy. It's got the map, it's got all the kit and caboodle with it, so why not? It's not costing me much to jump in here. So I picked up a copy and I started playing, and I have to say, I was so wrong in not stepping into this sooner. I had such a fun experience playing through this title. Now, I'm going to say as well, I only focused really on the main storyline. I didn't go off and play loads of side missions. I think I clocked at around 25 to 30 hours in the game. I know a lot of people would say, well, it's a Bethesda title, it's Elder Scrolls, all the fun comes with wandering off and going to the side missions and everything like that. That's where the true fun of the game is. But I wanted to just get my feet wet, really sort of get the main story out of the way, so then if I decide to come back to this in the future and I just want to dip my toe in and have a quick go of the game again and just have a bit more fun in the world of Skyrim, I could just jump in, do a couple of side missions, and then kind of jump back out again, and I can jump in and out as much as I want. But I did delve into some of the side missions. I did get involved with, and I'm going to try and be as spoiler free as I can, because like I said, I know there's others who may be brand new to Skyrim, so I'm going to try and be as spoiler free as possible, maybe a little bit vague at times, but it'd probably be one of those, if you know, you know. So I got involved with the Dark Brotherhood a little bit, and there was a fantastic section where you're in like a cabin in the woods and a decision has to be made, and I thought that was brilliant because it really, that's what I love about RPGs, is they can sometimes put a really kind of moral question in front of you. Very much like, I know people are going to hate me for making this comparison, but just hear me out here. It's kind of like the start of Fable 3, where you have a massive moral decision to make right at the start of the game, and it really sort of sets you in for that title. So, and again, here with that Dark Brotherhood section, there was a massive moral kind of question in front of you, and you had to make a big decision. And I love stuff like that, because it kind of makes you put yourself into the game, because you kind of put your own morals into the game, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. And that really ties in well to the thing that really drew me in with this, and that is the writing. The world feels so open and alive, and there's so many people that you can just meet up and talk with. Like, to be honest with you, when I'm wandering around a game like this and I'm just kind of wandering around the world, I usually don't normally talk to my party. I just kind of wander off, and if I need to talk to them, I will. Whereas in this, I found I'd be wandering around, and I just think, you know what? I just kind of want to stop and talk to my companion here and just get their kind of understanding of what's going on. And it really made me reminded me, should I say, of when I played Coffee Talk for the first time, as that game made me feel like these pixelated characters on screen, they're real people. And it was the same here. All my sort of party members that I was wandering around the world with, they quickly didn't become just characters on screen. They quickly became real people to me. I hope this kind of makes sense to people, but yeah, it just really sort of made it all feel very real, which was brilliant, because obviously that's what you want in a game like this, is to have that immersion and that just complete disconnect from the world around you. You want to feel like you're completely absorbed in this title. And there's another fantastic moment for me, which was when you go up to the throat of the world and you talk to someone quite important up there. Again, I'm trying to keep as vague as possible because I don't want to kind of spoil things for people. But that moment, after all that, I had to go talk to my partner and tell her all about it, because I was just like, oh, this happened and this happened. Oh, and that's what I'd be doing sort of every now and again. Is I'd see her after a session on the game and just be like regaling of all these stories and all these quests that I've been on. Obviously, it wasn't all peaches and cream, the playthrough. It wasn't all perfect. Going back to the throat of the world for a second, I was playing through quite a big battle in the game, and I managed to come across quite an annoying glitch. I don't know if this has been fixed in other versions, because obviously I was playing this on the Xbox 360, and I don't know if this has been fixed in other versions, like I said, but I'd be battling this enemy that I was fighting. I'm trying to keep vague, and I'd be slashing away, firing magic and all sorts, and yeah, nothing would be happening. Just none of his health would be going down. I'm like, well, what's going on? Why am I not making a dent in this? And then I did a bit of research in that, and I found that there is actually a glitch where I think if you don't let a certain cutscene happen or something like that, you have to go back to a previous save and then start it again, because obviously the glitch happens where no matter how much you throw at the enemy, it just will not get damaged, which was so bizarre. And luckily I had a save just before I did that cutscene, so obviously it didn't affect me too much, but this could affect others. So yeah, just be careful when you get to that moment. Another thing which was quite annoying to me, and again, a lot of people say that it's a Bethesda game, that's just how it is, but the autosave was terrible in my opinion. There'd be moments where, again, going back to what I was saying before, I'd be totally immersed in the game, and then I'd die, and then I'd be chucked back about 5 or 10 minutes to the past, and I'd be like, oh, I've got to do all that again. So what I did towards the end of the game is I would, if I had to fight someone, I'd fight them. As soon as they'd be dead, save. I'd go into a new room, save. And I'd be saving constantly to make sure I didn't have to go too far back, which in a small way did take out that immersion which I had at the beginning, because obviously I was going back into video game logic where it was like, right, I need to save now. Right, I need to save now. And I know, again, a lot of people on Reddit were saying things like, well, it's a Bethesda game. That's just how it is. But you'd think it would have been a lot better than it was. I mean, I've played games which were made before Skyrim, and the autosave was so much better. So, yeah. But like I said, I very much enjoyed my time with the game. There was a lot of great things, a lot of epic battles. You cannot deny that there are some big epic moments. Like I said, the throw to the world, the final battle in the main story is absolutely incredible. It really, really builds and comes to this marvelous crescendo. Really reminds me of the battle at Mordor at the sort of towards the end of Return of the King. It reminded me a lot of that, which is great for me because I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan. And another thing I wanted to mention, which was a bit of an odd one for me, was the sword play in the game. Now, so the best way I can describe it is I'd be throwing my sword around and I kind of feel like I was sort of slashing my sword around and hoping for the best. I hope that makes sense. Like, I'd be slashing away at an enemy, and sometimes I'd be slash, and just absolutely nothing would be happening. I wouldn't be and that's because I wasn't sort of really, and I found this a lot with the sword plays, you weren't sort of getting a massive kind of like register that you were connecting with your sword. It's like as if there was something missing there. Like normally when you make a hit with a sword, you get some kind of feedback, whether that be an auditory feedback or some kind of feedback in the controller or something like that. But there wasn't really anything like that. And the sword play felt very floaty. Normally when I'm swinging a sword around, I expect there to be a bit of weight, or I expect it to, like I said, when you swing and you hit something, you get that feedback to say, yes, I've made a mark on them. I think the sword play was a little bit disappointing. The magic was great though, the archery was great. It was just that sword play which was a bit disappointing. But all in all, I have to say, like I said at the beginning of this, I was very foolish to not have played this sooner. I had such a wonderful time playing it. Yes, I had my niggles, but it didn't completely take me out of it and make me want to drop the game. I will be going back to it at some point to play through some more of the side missions, because like I said, that's all people tend to talk about when they talk about Skyrim, is all the side missions. So if you're like me and you tried Oblivion, it didn't sit well with you, give Skyrim a try. It's a great time. It's a world that you can easily get immersed in. A lot of wonderful characters to really get to know and to become sort of like your video game buddies, if you know what I mean. And it's that great moment where you kind of come out of the tutorial level and the world just kind of opens up to you and you realise, I've got this playground to play in and I don't know where to start. So yeah, I'm going to stop now because I'm probably sensing I'm going to start rabbiting. So thank you very much for listening to this. I really do appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the video, if there's anything you want to comment on, or if there's anything I was doing wrong, or if you've had similar experiences to me like that glitch that I discovered, then feel free to put that in the comments. Obviously, please keep as spoiler free as we can, and please be obviously diplomatic and such in the comments, and be kind to others, as there will be others who are very much like me, very new to this thing. But thank you again for listening. Obviously we're on YouTube, so I've got to say, feel free to like, subscribe and all that stuff. But yeah, we're on YouTube, we have to say that. But thanks for listening, take care, and hopefully I'll see you next time.